is communication, what is language, and we also talk about the communication skills. We also talk about the types of communication in terms of verbal and non-verbal communication.
Yeah.
Right? We
Yes,
talk
sir.
about the types, especially intrapersonal communication, interpersonal communication. Then we talk about group communication, mass communication, and we didn't talk about the non-verbal communication, but we simply gave an overview of what are the non-verbal communications actually meant for, right? Now, as per as the syllabus is concerned, in the first block we have 3 units. The first one is language as communication. Second one is the properties of language, and third one is the non-verbal communication, right? So you already gone through the overview or the background of what is language and what it actually means. And then we talked about the types. Now today what we are going to do is that we are going to talk about the properties or in terms of human language and animal language, right? I also mentioned that in the last class. So hope you remember that one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we are going to talk about the properties, especially the in terms of characteristics, you can say. So let me share my screen so that I can show you some of the clips that I have made for the class. Okay, just a minute. Can anybody respond, please, that whether the screen is visible or not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
it is visible.
Yes, sir, it's possible.
Okay, okay, thank you. Please, all of you, mute your mic so that
Okay, sir.
my voice will be clear to everybody. Okay. Otherwise, some of you won't be able to listen me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So in terms of the second unit that we have in block 1, that is the properties of language. So it's a broad term where it's not mentioned whether we have to talk about the human language or animal language or not. But as we have communication as a part in the syllabus, it simply means verbal and non-verbal communication as a whole. That's why the first one, that is verbal communication, it is not mentioned in the syllabus, but it's also there. That's why in the third unit of the block 1, we have non-verbal communication as a unit, right? So we talk about that. Now today we are going to talk about the properties of human language, and we will also make a comparison between human language and animal language and language as well. Okay. Now, some of the key points that we have to remember is in terms of human language or in terms of language, okay, there are two key points. One is the human unique properties, which is related to the human language, and another one is the non-unique properties that is related to the language of both human and other creatures. Yesterday I mentioned that okay, non-verbal communication is not only related to the animals, right? It's also a part of human communication. And some of the scholars or some of the linguist has made a point that okay, in our communication, day-to-day communication, we use only 20% verbal communication and 80% as the non-verbal communication. Now, those who are new, if you do not have any idea about verbal and non-verbal communication, let me take you back to the previous class for 1 or 2 minutes so that the topic will be easy to understand you what I will going to discuss in the next few minutes. A verbal communication. See, a communication is a process where we exchange our thoughts, ideas, or interact with one person to another. Right. In such communication, we have two ways. uh, Through two things or two channels or two types of ideas we communicate with each other. The first one is a verbal form. Right. Verbal means it's completely related to or based on words. When we use words, be it written or oral form, when we are using words in a communication, that is what known as verbal communication. And that can be done only by the human beings, right? Not by any other species like animals. So in verbal communication, we simply use words, right? Be it oral form, like spoken form or written form. But in non-verbal communication, it's completely related to the gestures, postures, motions, or haptics and chronemics that we use. Yesterday, I gave some examples like, okay, suppose you are communicating in front of an large number of audience, and you are simply giving a lecture without, any kind of body movements or eye contact, then that communication is not going to be an effective one, right? Now, to make a communication effective, we also need the presentation skills and as well as the non-verbal communication skills as also equally important. Now in non-verbal communication we have to mention, right, that we are using our hands, we're using our facial gestures, we're using our eye contact, and making contact with the eyes of the audience so that the audience don't feel bored. Yes. Is there any question? Okay. So that was about verbal and non-verbal communication. But in human communication, we use both of them together, right? It's not only about the verbal communication. If it is a written communication, in such cases we can't use the body gestures or postures. We simply use the pauses or the punctuations to uh, to mean something or take a pause. But in terms of speaking, we use the body gestures, the you know movements to show certain pauses. Now today we are going to talk about the properties of human language, and we will also make a comparison with the properties of human language with animal language. Now I said that, okay, there are two key points. One is there is a language which is completely related to the human beings, and another one is human as well as other creatures like animals, because non-verbal communication is part of both human and animal communication. Now what are the unique properties that we find in human communication or human language? The first one is arbitrariness, second one is displacement, third one is duality, then we have productivity or creativity, fifth one is discreteness, seventh sixth one is patterning, structure dependence, and cultural transmission. These are some of the common features that we find in human language. And when we are going to discuss about all these points, we are also make a comparison with the animal language as well. Okay. Yes. I hope you all of you have the book with you. If you will turn on the pages of second unit, you will definitely find these terms over there, and there will be some descriptive essays as well. You can read that as well to follow my words. So yesterday we also talk about the first characteristic or the first properties of language, that is arbitrariness, right? And I also gave you an example that what actually arbitrary mean, right? Can anybody recall the example that I gave for arbitrariness?
CAT, cat.
Yeah, I gave an example of cat, and somebody replied that what is the meaning of arbitrariness? Somebody says In Hindi or Urdu, maybe manmani,
P and
right?
pen.
Pe and pen. See, I took you back to a theorist whose name is Ferdinand de Saussure, and he gave a very beautiful model of semiotics where he talked about sign, signifier, and signified. Okay, and he says that okay, yes, a sign is made up of two things. One is signifier, another one is signified. So when we are putting together few letters to call, make a compact word like pen or cat, the sound that we have together, all these letters have a word, right? It become a word, and this word is actually the sign, which is made up of two things. One is the signifier, another one is the signified, right? The signifier is actually the sound image. When we are pronouncing the letters together like cat, cat, immediately there will be an image of a particular cat, right? With the pronunciation there will be an image of a cat. That is invisible, that is abstract, that's very true. We can't see that one, but it will come to the next to the word when we pronounce it. And one alternative image will also popping up into our mind. So when it is a sound image, this is what is known as signifier, and another one is signified, that is the mental image. When an image is also coming up in our mind related to a particular cat, right? Now the word cat and the thing that is coming up into our mind, the image or the real cat, doesn't have any kind of relationship. So what that particular theorist mean is that there is no inherent relationship between a word and the thing it actually meant. Okay, so if I'll say that cat is a four legs animal, which we can see near our homes, right? Or house cats are there, also jungle cats are also there. Or simply take the word pen. So we have a word that is pen, which signifies a particular instrument with which we used to write or mark something, right? But I also gave you an example that my name is Dilwar Hussain. Instead of calling me with the same name Dilwar Hussain, if somebody will give me another name, and from today onwards, if somebody will call me with that name, I will be the same person, but my name will be changed. So that's why there is no relationship with the name and the thing. The thing and the name is not inherently connected. So it can be changed in terms of society, in terms of its cultural uses. So when we have words and their meanings, they're totally socially created, right? I also gave you an example like in Hindi it's called pani, in Bengali it's called jal, in English it's water, in Telugu maybe it's nilo, right? One substance and it has multiple names. So name doesn't have anything with the content, right? Name doesn't have anything to do with the content or the substance. The substance should be the same one, but the name is different based on different societal or cultural usage. So a language is always arbitrary because human language, especially human language, is arbitrary because it is made up of societal usage, not by the exact meaning or inborn meaning is fixed like animal language. Because in animal language we don't have words, right? It's completely based on non-verbal signs, and signs are always inborn or inherent. When a cow or a dog is actually taking birth, it will have its own sound. It's a genetic sound that will be produced by the particular cub of that dog. So this is what is actually arbitrariness in human language. Not a single word has its inherent connection with the meaning that it actually stand for. Okay, is it clear? Arbitrariness.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you explain 1 second, sir? I cannot understand.
Which one? Arbitrariness.
Yes, sir. Which one? Just for 1 second, last line.
Let's see.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. See, arbitrariness means there is no connection or relationship between the linguistic forms and the meaning. Linguistic forms means we have many sounds, right? I hope that you have heard of English alphabets and English sounds, right? How many sounds do we have? Can anybody tell me? We have 44 sounds, but we
One.
have, yeah, we have 26 letters. So there is a disparity between the sounds and the letters, right? Because we have 26 sounds, then how can we have 44 sounds? Yes, we use all these 44 26 letters to utter 44 sounds, right? We will also talk about that one. Now these linguistic sounds will be put together to create a word, and that word has a meaning, and that meaning is actually not same to the people of the world throughout the world. That's why I gave you an example. In Telangana we called Nilo or Niru for water. In England or in English language it's water. In Hindi it's jal or pani, right? One substance has more than four or five or n number of words to signify that one. So when the word and its substance doesn't have inherent relationship, connection, that is what is known as arbitrariness. For example, here I have written, when we pronounce the word house, it has nothing to do with the shape of house, right? When we are talking about a house, you may imagine of a house that is very different from the other person who is listening to this lecture. So if there is 65 students in the class, each one of you will have a different shape and color of that particular house. The structure will also be different. But the word house actually signifies a particular structure where human beings used to stay. Or similarly, there is no relationship with a particular structure and the word house. Did you get it?
Yes.
The best
Yes.
example is like if you will remove your own name from the certificates and from day-to-day life, and somebody will give you a new name, and from today onward someone will come and call you with the new name. Will you be changed? No, you won't be changed. The material, the substance, the thing will be as it is. So the word that we are using to call a particular thing has no relationship with the actual thing and its meaning. The meaning is socially created. It's not genetic. It's not linguistic or by birth. Okay, that is what is known as arbitrariness. As we have words, we have linguistic signs. That's why human language is arbitrary. But this is not the case in animal language because they don't have words. They don't have letters. Right? Is it clear? Somebody was asking to explain again.
Yes, sir. It's clear, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now next move to the next characteristic or feature, that is displacement. Okay. Now what is displacement? What is the meaning of displacement? The word displacement has its own meaning. It's all already self descriptive. Okay. Like displacing, first one is a dis, that is preposition which shows something related to opposition. Okay. Placement means to place a thing in a particular place, right?
इनके मोबाइल से कनेक्ट होता है उनका ब्लूटूथ
Can you please mute your mic? Somebody is talking.
होता कनेक्ट
Can you please mute yourself? Okay, let's talk about displacement. So displacement is actually, it means a human being can talk about past, present, future, while animals can't do that. Now, if you are making a comparison between animal language and human language, you will find displacement in human language, which will not be found in animal language. Now, what is displacement actually? We are living in 2022. This is the last month of 2022, right? We are staying, most of you are from Hyderabad, maybe, or Telangana, isn't that? Now, if something is happening in America, or maybe Australia or England, an incident has taken place in America, and you are able to talk about that particular incident. You are able to think about that particular incident. You never heard of, you never ever seen that particular person called Hitler, but you know about him through the past, through the books, or through the stories that you have gone through in your past career. So we can move back or flash back to our ancestors. We can think of 2000 years back. We can also think about what is going to happen in the upcoming future. We can also think about present. That's why we have three different tenses, right? Past, present, and future. So this can only happen. This can only happen with human beings. So when we are using language, we are using language to describe the past. We are using language to describe the present. We are using language to describe the future. That can only happen. That is what is known as displacement, where we are displacing one particular language to describe a particular phenomena that is going to happen in future or in the present or the past. That can't be happened in animal language, but they use their signs, different signs, okay, to indicate a particular direction, to indicate a particular pathway. For example, I have written over here that when a worker bee finds the source of nectar, it returns to the hive and makes a complex dance to clarify the exact location of the nectar. So this also happens, but they are not using words. It's completely non-verbal communication, right? Their dance also has their own significance, own meaning. Okay, is it clear? Displacement.
No, sir. Can you?
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
If it is not clear, please let me know. I will give you some other examples. Or
Can
I
you
will.
help with another example, please, Mr. Hussain?
Okay. Okay. So let me give you another example. Displacement actually simply means when human beings use language to talk about n number of things irrespective of time, space, and virtuality, or you can say metaphysics, right? If you are talking with, maybe there are many specialists who are talking with animals and they are trying to find out their language and all the things, but what they are finding is that nothing but non-verbal communication or sign language that the animals are using. But in terms of human beings, they can use language about a thing that they have never ever met with. As for example, we always believe in God, right? Based on religions, we have several gods. In Hinduism, we have different gods. In Christian, we have different gods. In Islam, we have different gods. We never ever met with God, but it's a belief. It's a strong belief, right? I also gave you an example when I was talking about the intrapersonal communication. When you are talking with God or you are talking with in a prayer, you are not directly communicating with God, and you are not expecting the direct response or reply from God, right? So a thing that is not earthly, and you have never met with that, like the movies that is going to be soon released, Avatar is a movie, and that most of the movies of Disney Plus are talking about a world that is not existing in the present time. That's a completely hyper real or super real world. We never visited that world, but we can talk about that, we can think about that. But animals can't do that one. They can't think about their past, they can't think about their future. What they are facing right now, what in which situation they are only focusing on that, and they can only think about that only. Okay. So this is the quality of human beings who can think about past, present, and future. And in terms of understanding them, explaining them, or describing it to somebody else, they can use language. This is what is known as displacement, which can't be taken place in animal language. Okay, is it fine?
Thank you so much, Mr. Hussain. That's really clear now.
Okay,
Sir,
thank you.
it was clear now.
Okay, thank you. Now let's talk about the third feature or property, that is duality. Okay. Now what is duality actually? Does anyone of you have any idea?
Duality is another descriptive characteristics of language,
Mm-hmm. That's true. You are
but
reading.
animal specified and
See, let me give you a brief example and make it very clear with sweet examples. I have already gave some examples related to this, but now we are in this point, so let's talk about it only. Right? Duality means when which has two features or which is two aspects to discuss about in terms of language, right? Duality is another distinctive characteristics or features of language, which refers to the fact that language consists of a set of segments or units in which they are not carrying meaning but themselves, like A, E, I, T, etc. Okay, so you can read that one and let me give you one example so that it will be very easy to understand. See, we talk about animal language and human language. In human language, I gave you an example that we have alphabets in each languages. India is a multilingual, country, and we have more than you can say 1600 languages or dialects. In each language and dialects, we have different alphabets, different scriptures, different sounds. But in total, IPA, that is International Phonetics Alphabet or Association, they have found 44 to 50 sounds in each language which are common to each languages, right? So we have a script and we also have a sound system. But in English language, as we are learning English, so in English language, we have alphabets and sounds, and each of the letters doesn't have their own meaning separately or in a vacuum. You can't have a meaning with A, E, T, or I simply, unless and until we are putting them together, following the rules of consonant and vowel. We have vowel sounds, vowel letters, consonant sound, and consonant letters. Can anybody tell me what is vowel and consonant in terms of letters or alphabets?
Vowel is A, E, I, O, U. O, U is a vowel. E, I, O, U.
Yeah,
Vowel.
those are the vowel letters. Okay, but
Remaining consonants.
it.
VIKE.
Remaining all
Mhm. Now, if I will
consonants.
ask you that, okay, what is the difference between consonant and vowel? Then how will you differentiate it?
Vowels have two sounds, sir.
Vowels have two sounds that sound little good. Yes. Okay, let me tell you. See, vowels are letters and consonants are also letters. But
Yes,
a
sir.
vowel letter can pronounced vowel letters can pronounce independently. They never depend on any other letter. But consonant can't do that one. They are dependent on the vowel letters. Similarly, in case of sound, vowel sounds can be pronounced independently, whereas the consonant sounds can't be pronounced independently. Let me give you an example. As for example, if you are saying A, E, I, O, U, right? These five, these five vowel letters can be pronounced independently. They are not depending on any other consonant sounds. But take a example of the letter D. D stands for dog, right? So if you are pronouncing that particular letter D, we have an invisible E as well with it, right? D plus E is D.
D.
Yes. Similarly, K plus E is K or A. Okay, K plus A is K. P plus E or I is E. P. So similarly, all the consonant letters are always dependent upon the vowel letters. Isn't
Yes.
that? Now, following this formula, following this system, we always make a word or create a word, mixing up both consonant letters and vowel letters together. Okay. Not a single word in English language can be called a word without vowel sounds. So each of the word has at least one or two vowels, either a letter or a sound, right? Without vowel letter or vowel sounds, no word can be created, right? Otherwise, it will become simply like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay. Now, this is actually duality in a language. We have alphabets in separate form and we have sound in separate form. When we are putting them together, two different things, two different entities of a language, to create a meaningful word that you can't find in animal language because they don't have letters, alphabets. Do you think they have? No, they don't have, right? Isn't that? Animals doesn't have
Yes.
alphabets, letters. See, I have made some examples over here. A, E, T letters, but when they are combined in certain sequences, they form larger units and they carry meaning. Also, human can play with it with the sounds. For example, they can make eat, at, tea. Okay, but animals has a specific stock of sounds which varies according to species. Most of the animals can use the sound only once. Okay, so animal language doesn't have duality, but human language or the language that we're using have duality because we have letters, we have sounds, and then ultimately we have word, right? I hope this topic is also clear.
I have one question, Mr. Hussein. You said that
Yes.
in English language there is no word
Mhm.
created without a vowel in it, correct?
Yes, yes.
What about the word sky? What about the word wide? What about the word myth? There are no
Myth.
vowels in it.
Yeah. Now let me tell you because I didn't mention that there are two other vowels as well, which are called as semi-vowels. Okay. We have five vowel letters, that is A, E, I, O, U. You have pointed out a very good question, right? We have A, E, I, O, U. These five letters are called pure vowels. Okay. And we have also two other vowels which are called semi vowels, and they are W and Y. Okay. Is it clear now? We have two other vowels who are called semi vowels. They also play a vital role to form words.
Mhm.
So when we are going to talk about vowel sounds and consonant sounds, in vowel sound we have two types of vowel sounds. One is monophthongs, another is diphthongs, and in total they are 20. The consonant sounds are 24 and vowel sounds are 20. So when we are going to talk about them, you will also find that wa and ya, there are two sounds which comes under the category called vowel. Okay, so I didn't actually give you that example. That was my mistake, and you pointed it out. That's a very good thing. Okay, so because of that, two vowels, that is semi vowel, we have such words where we don't have any a, e, I, o, u, but we have w and y. Is it clear now?
Thank you, Mr. Hussein.
Okay, thank you. Is there any doubt about duality?
No.
Okay, thank you.
I'm good,
Now
thank you.
let's move to the next, that is productivity. Hmm. Productivity simply means where human beings have creativity, right? Productivity is actually somehow equal to creativity, where we can produce something. Okay, if it is repeated or even following certain theory or rules, again that is also called productivity. But human can do this one. The term refers to the creativity in human language, but it's not there in animal language. We can't find creativity or productivity in animal language because they have only one set of sounds. Cows have only 10 to 12 sounds to produce. Dogs have 10 or 12 sounds to produce, and that is fixed since their birth to the end of their life. They can't create more sounds out of that. But in terms of human language, we have creativity. We have productivity because we can create n number of sounds, n number of words based on certain situation or scenario. That's what I told you when I was yesterday I was talking about the skills, LSRW. Once you listen, you will start speaking. But what is the need of reading? It's all because of expanding your vocabulary, right? Suppose after listening to 10 or 15 people, if you are stop listening or stop speaking, then what will happen? You will face the lack of words or vocabs, and suddenly you have been sent to a particular situation where you never had been, so you won't be able to communicate. But if you are good in that particular language, if you have a good stock of words, you will be able to create or make a sense of what you want to say or what you want to convey, where you can use different words or create new words. That's how the language is now having more than 50 lakh words. Otherwise, it was not a language created by the English people. This language has actually become a language by taking words from other languages, right? Nowadays we have selfie as a word. Earlier it was not there, but we are creating such words. Why? Because we have the power to create it to mean something, right? But animals doesn't have. They have fixed sound and they are using it regularly. We can create new words every day. Nowadays we use WhatsApp chatting and all these things, and in these virtual worlds, we are also creating our own way of talking. We are using some sign language, we are using some abbreviations which can nobody understand except the people with whom you are speaking, isn't that? Once I was talking with a one of my students, and I was simply conveying him some message, and he was simply replying me in WhatsApp like k and k, but I didn't understand that what is the meaning of that kk. Then I asked one of my colleagues that what is the meaning of kk. Then he simply said it's okay, okay.
Okay.
Right? It's simply okay, okay. Now, what is the purpose of using that? If you're using this particular abbreviated form of okay, okay as KK, if you're using it with a person who doesn't have any idea about that, he won't be able to understand. But yes, if you're using it within your friend circle where you always use that particular way of abbreviating forms of letters or words, that is fine. So we use and we create. That is what is productivity. Okay, that we find in human language, not in animal language. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Now another one is discreteness. Okay. Now discreteness means actually human language consists of distinctive units. Different pronunciation in the sounds of human language leads to different meaning. Okay. Now, this discreteness actually means, can anybody tell me the meaning of discreteness?
In
What does
literal
the,
terms, discrete is something that keep it as a secret or unknown in literal terms.
okay. Uh-huh. Discreteness is also a meaning in mathematics maybe, or in uh, data sciences. They use the word to deviation, for deviation, okay? Where we can create words, okay, where we can form words of the same category using other letters. I have used some examples you can see here. Backpack, pin, bin, heat, meet, fit, sit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tit for tat. There are some examples or idioms like that. So when we are making or creating words, just discreting the main word using as another letter in the beginning or in the middle or at the end in the phonemic level. Okay, we have many phonemes or all the sounds in when we are speaking them or uttering them, they are called phonemes actually in linguistics. So changing the place of any one of the phoneme when we are creating new words or making new words, that is what is called actually discreteness. That can only happen in human language, which is not a part of animal language because we don't have words over there. Okay, it's a very simple thing to understand. See, back, pack, or like pin, bean, tin, din, such words. Okay,
The rhymic words, huh?
Yeah, it is like rhyming word.
it's like that, but it's not like uh,
Mhm.
that. Okay, it will end with the only with the ending sound, like only with the
Yeah,
ending
yeah.
syllables. Yeah.
Ending letters are like looking like rhyming words.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's not like only the ending letters, or sorry, ending syllables. It can also
Okay.
happen in the beginning as well, right?
Beginning also it could happen.
Yeah, in the beginning also, in the middle also, in the end also. Okay, we have three places of phonemes. There is the front place, middle place, and end place, right?
End place. Yes.
Yeah, so it can happen in any one of them.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Mhm. Then we have patterning. I think I don't know whether it is there in your book or not.
It's not in the book.
It's not there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, sir, it's
Anyway,
not there. It's a cultural transmission.
how many of them are there? Six or seven?
Six, sir.
Six, sir.
Six. Okay.
Six.
So now let's talk about cultural transmission then. I added it. We'll talk about that as well. Anyway, now what is cultural transmission? What is the meaning of culture and what is the meaning of transmission? Can anybody tell me?
So the family tradition we pass to the new generation.
Hmm.
Language
Mother
transmission
tongue.
from culture to culture.
How will you define culture?
Culture,
Tradition.
what we are following right now from our
Culture.
religion, and it will be transferred
A
to
newly
our.
born from
Hmm. Somebody was giving good answers like whatever we are following based on the
Traditions and
religion.
mother tongue.
Yeah, all these are part of culture. Whatever you are doing from the beginning of your day till the end of your day, whatever you are doing in terms of eating, in terms of playing, in terms of wearing, in terms of talking, all are part of a culture. Our food habit, our religion, our rituals, everything are part of a culture. Okay. And transmission means transferring one culture to another, or passing one culture to another through generations after generation. Okay? So it is not only you can say that not only a quality of human language, it is also part of animal language. But in animal language, we don't have the change of the sounds that they always produce, that passes to the newborn babies of a cub, but it won't be different. But in human language, when a culture is transferring from one generation to another, there will be certain change, even though it is not visible. The cultures or the cultural rituals that is part of Telangana right now was not as same as it is right now some 200 years ago or 100 years ago. Even if you will go back to 10 years ago, you won't find the same form of culture that we are following right now in Telangana, isn't that? So human culture always goes through certain changes, and these changes happen based on the usage. Nowadays, if somebody will ask you to watch a movie, a person who likes to watch reels only, if somebody will ask a person to watch a movie for 2 hours or 3 hours, he will be very irritated, right? He will be irritated a lot that okay, he or she may suffer from anxiety, because nowadays we can move so faster that there is no point to move back. we can watch 1,000 movies within 1 hour. So why we will spend 2 hours or 3 hours to watching a single movie? Because each of the what's Instagram reels or YouTube reels that you watch maybe have their own theme, own meaning. And even if you are watching Instagram reels, you may become addictive. No, it may become addictive for you, because in each videos, in each reels, you will find new contents, and you will just use your finger to swipe it up or down. But in movies, you have to sit 3 hours to 2 hours to 3 hours to get one particular theme. But in each 15 seconds reels, you will get this one. So why I gave this example is because nowadays the transmission of the culture is too fast that okay, you can't be categorize or find out a particular gap or a time period where you can say that okay, this was the time when we had this culture. Now the culture had slightly moved and the period is again now this one. Okay. earlier a
Okay, sir.
decade Earlier a decade was, or an age was known as, or decade simply, earlier a decade was known as a 10 years period. But right now a decade is only 1 minute or 1 second. The day or the world is changing very fast. Okay, its transmission of culture is too fast that okay, we won't be able to make a point, or you can make a scale where we can fit it that okay, this particular from 2015 to 2022 we had one set of culture, and now from 22 to 30 will be one. No, it's changing gradually. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
I hope so.
Yes, sir.
Closing.
What is there in the next block? Can anybody tell me? I mean, block number 2, what we have?
More designs and feature of language.
Okay. What are the units in block 2?
2.3.
What are the units? 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3.
Interchangeability.
Interchangeability, reflexivity, learnability, provocation, vocal auditory channel, broadcast
Abbreviation.
transmission, and directional reception,
Vocal auditory
transitoriness,
channel.
tutor feedback, specialization,
Okay.
semanticity.
Okay. So we'll do that one as well in the next classes. Did you get the timetable? Because this was temporary timetable, this
Yeah,
week's
we
especially.
unfortunately got a timetable that is only for these 2 days, the 10th and the 11th.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't see any other timetable published online.
Yeah. So hopefully you will get it by this week. I mean, from Monday onwards, they are working on it. And probably we'll also have the class on the same time in the next weekend. Okay.
Sounds good.
So till the time you try to go through all the 3 units of the block 1. Okay. Do you all of you have any WhatsApp group?
We
Yes,
have
sir.
No,
created
sir.
one
I don't
one
have,
group
sir.
for
Excuse
English
me. I
Lit.
don't have, sir.
You don't have.
Yeah, sir.
I do, sir.
Who's
I
that?
do.
So I think if you have a group, I think you should
I'm
all
just
of
posting the English Lit group link on the chat right now, so you
Okay.
guys can connect from there.
Okay.
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 So it's okay if you have any doubts so far about the properties that we have discussed today. You can ask.
Hello, sir. Excuse me, sir. Hello, Kathir. Just I want to know that it's notes and PDF. Did you have it there?
Yes.
So just I want a notes there like this PDF because of I do not have any idea about.
So you don't have
Just
the
I
book.
want. Yes, sir.
So you have to go through the book. What's your name?
Okay, sir.
What's your name, by the way? May I
My
know
name is
your good
Shiva.
name? Okay,
Shiva
Shiva.
Krishna, sir.
Okay, Shiva Krishna. See, you have been given a book, and you are supposed to go through the book. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
because the language is very easy and lucid. It is made
Yeah.
for you only. Okay. So once you will go
Okay.
through it, there are some beautiful examples
Okay.
as well. The examples that I have given is not may not match with the book. Okay, but the book has also some beautiful examples, and it is very I know uh, designed in such a way that a student can learn without listening any lecture. So I hope if you will go through it, it will make your understanding much better after listening the class. Okay. Now maybe somebody was saying that okay, you have an English group. So if you will be in a one group, it will be helpful for all of you. Okay, you can discuss about anything, any doubt, any query. Okay.
So in first semester there is the five blocks, no sir?
Yes, we have 5 blocks,
Yeah,
and in
total
each
5 blocks will be there, or it's any option is there, sir, in these 5 blocks?
no. We have to cover all the 5 blocks, and in all the 5 blocks, we have 15 units, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not a very difficult subject. It's a very easy and enjoyable subject. We will learn a lot of things, a very beautiful things. Okay, by the way.
Okay, sir. Thank
So
you,
don't worry about it.
So do you have any
when
idea?
we are seeing this book, we are confused, sir. That's why I'm asking total 5 blocks.
No, yeah, the book is
So,
also very good, right? Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Okay.
so
Hussain,
do you
one
have
quick
any idea
question.
Yes,
about
yes.
when is
Uh,
this? When
the
will be the
team is
first?
asking, the participants are asking to add you to the WhatsApp group. Are you okay with that?
See, the thing is that I don't have any. Did you share the group link in the chat box?
Yes, I did share. You can look at it now.
Okay.
Sir, can we get any model papers, sir, like earlier?
Like earlier, you have to contact with HOD Madhuri ma'am.
Oh, okay, thank you, sir.
Anyway, if I will get it, I'll share with you. Don't
Sure,
worry.
sir. Thank you,
So
sir.
do you have any idea about semester exams, sir?
Semester exam. Let's first complete the classes. Once the classes will be over, you will get time. Okay, almost like 1 month to cover the syllabus. Mhm. Anyway, thank you for your cooperation and your interaction with me in the class. Okay, it was very good for me, a good experience with you.
Thank you, sir. It's our pleasure.
Thank you, sir. It's our pleasure, sir.
Sir, we'll
Okay.
request you to join the WhatsApp group. You can address if we
Mhm.
have any questions.
Okay, you want me to join the group?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you can address any doubt if you have in between, if you are there in the WhatsApp group.
You can join me there. You can. Do you have my number? I
No,
think
sir.
you don't.
No,
You
sir,
don't.
we don't have
No,
your number.
we don't have your number.
Okay, so let me do one thing. Did you share? Yes, you have shared the WhatsApp group.
I was hesitant to add your number to, add you or request you to the group because sometimes we have unnecessary chats and so on that happens. I didn't want you to get annoyed on it. So that's the
Mhm.
reason I didn't add you to the group, or I didn't even request you to join the group. But if you are comfortable, you are most welcome to join it.
It's okay, fine, no issue. But the thing is, it's not loading. The link is not, I think,
Yeah,
working.
that's true. Absolutely true, sir. It's not loading properly.
I see people are joining. I have almost like 15 people who
Sir,
joined
it
just
will be
now.
more convenient if you have WhatsApp group, sir.
Yeah, it's a WhatsApp group.
Anyway,
But what the thing is, I have different number.
If you can share your number, sir, with Clifford, he can add you because he is admin, so he can add your number if you're not able to access.
Yeah, you can directly DM me on Zoom.
just a minute.
Okay,
Wait,
sir.
please, for 1 minute. Do you have any other class right now?
No, we are done. We don't have any other class.
No, sir. It's 4:30.
We,
We have the class.
we have computer classes, sir.
Computer application.
Okay,
I have a computer application class at the 4:30 to 5:30.
it's okay, fine. Let me check once again so that I can add myself into the group if it is working.
Sir, again, when you are continuing class.
Yes. I didn't get you. Can you please repeat it?
Sir, I have shared my number. Can you please add me in the group?
I don't.
What's
I'm
your
not
name?
in the group. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your name,
I mean,
ma'am?
who are creating the group? I'm saying to him.
Yeah, what's your name, ma'am?
My name is Amrin Fatima.
Yeah, BA first year English lead. Is this the group?
Exactly. That's the
Yeah.
one.
Created yesterday. Okay. 111 students are there.
I think so.
Yes, sir.
BA first year English.
113, sir.
Yeah, it keeps adding on.
Okay. Anyway, it's okay. I'm there in the group right now, so don't worry. I have also been added myself.
Oh, that's nice, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you so
nice,
much,
sir. Thank you, sir.
Rosin.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you. Have
I
a good
hope.
time. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Connection.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank you. You
much.
can leave right
Have a
now.
good
Yeah.
evening. Bye bye.
Okay.
12 or
Bye.
15.
Yes.
Sir, when you are again continue the class?
This class will be again, I know, once you will get the new timetable. So I'll also receive that one. So based on that, we will start it again. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
You can
thank you,
leave
sir.
right
Excuse me, sir. I have
Yes.
not got any message right now from WhatsApp. Did you added me?
Uh, can you please tell me your number once again? If I'm an
86.
admin. No, you write it there.
Okay, fine.
You write it there. Or you can, copy the link. It is, if it is not working right now, it will work. Okay. I am pasting the link once again. You just follow this link and join.
So I have changed my number.